Today we're going to talk a little more about the killings that they had in Pittsburgh at the Tree of Life Synagogue on Saturday. The man walked in, he killed 11 people, and I think 6 were injured. And all this took place at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. This guy that ran in was a person that lived in Pittsburgh, in the Baldwin area, and I don't know what got him worked up, but I have a feeling it might have been those bombs that were sent out the day before by the guy down in Florida, sent packages to all the Democrats, and a lot of those packages supposedly had bombs in them. The thing about it is, where most people around the world know, they keep hearing this Tree of Life congregation. The Tree of Life congregation was a conservative congregation. I was going to try to explain some different things about it. Now, what's conservative? Well, they have, first, the religion, Jewish religion, is 3 different groups in it. Orthodox, then they have conservative, then they have reformed. Those 3 groups. So where this took place in this synagogue, they're conservative, and they handle the religion properly, but they don't go to the extremes that the Orthodox do, and they're more religious in a way than the Reformed people. That's another group that has their own place where they meet. The Reformed now, most of the ceremony there is in English. They go straight English, you read the book and that's it. Now, conservative, I think on their books you have one side it's Hebrew and the other side's English. You can go either way. Now, the Orthodox, a lot of their books, they don't have English. It's Hebrew on every single page. Now, what's Hebrew? How do you learn to read it? Well, when you go to the school, starting the grade school, you learn how to read Hebrew. And the one thing that's interesting about the United States, you're taught how to read Hebrew, but you're never taught what the words mean. Okay. Now in Israel, they do it different. In Israel, everybody's reading Hebrew, but they know what every word means. So that's the difference between Israel and the United States. In the United States, you learn how to read Hebrew, and you can read it good, but you don't know what you're reading because you're never taught to do the translation from when you're in grade school coming up. And most of the ones in Pittsburgh that are Orthodox, in grade school they went to this yeshiva, which was started by Rabbi Posner. He was one of the biggest rabbis in the whole area. And a lot of these rabbis, Orthodox, they come out of New York City. That's where or Brooklyn, that's where they're trained, taught, and that's where they learn all the things that they pass to the people in the places they go. And from New York City, those people are trained there, they go to school there, and they're sent out all over the world. They're sent all over the world. Now, conservative, they have, they're not as religious and extreme like the Orthodox, but they practice their religion like anybody else, and they like what they're doing. And the Reformed is more or less a religious group, but they do about everything in English. So there'd be no reason for them to go to grade school at this yeshiva in Pittsburgh if they're never going to read Hebrew. That's one thing they teach you there to start with, is how to read Hebrew. But for some reason, I don't know why, and in the United States, they don't teach you how to translate Hebrew into English. So you never know really what you're reading, unless they have English on one side of the page and Hebrew on the other. But you can read Hebrew and you can read fast. It'd be nice to know what you're reading though, but you never learn that. Before you know, you get to 8th or 9th grade, and then you finish that school, and then you go on to the English schools in the area for high school, depending on the place where your residence is. That's where you go to high school. But generally, this yeshiva is in Oakland, but the kids come there from all over the city because some people want their children to get that kind of education, and it's for later in life. But I don't know I know in this conservative synagogue, I know some people were there and they said they were going to come there about 9:45 in the morning, and some came, and then there were like 12 people in the sanctuary. That was it. I know if it was an Orthodox synagogue and if there were people there and they were told to be there at 9 o'clock, they would be there. No questions asked. But there weren't many people in the sanctuary this time, 12. And this guy came up and killed 11 of those 12, and then the other 6 he injured. But I don't know. I was just going into the background so you'll know something about this Tree of Life and these other synagogues and what they're looking for, how they preach, and how many people are there. I know even like most of the ones in that Orthodox, they have to wear hats, and a lot of them wear these things around their neck. But a lot of that are things that you'll run into as you go. And I was saying some of the things that Orthodox do, like it's different than the other ones. Like from Friday night to Saturday night, you can't ride in a car. You can't carry money.
Right.
You can't buy nothing. You can't purchase nothing. If you don't have nothing to eat, that's too bad. You're not allowed to spend money to purchase food. You're not allowed to spend money to purchase anything. We're talking about Orthodox people now. We're not talking about this Tree of Life because they're conservative. And once the Sabbath is over, Saturday night, then at sundown, then you can go out and buy food, you can spend money, and you can do everything you do generally. And you can ride in a car. But otherwise you can't do it. And somebody else was saying, and they'll tell you around the country, around the world, I've had fights over people. If you ask them what's the most religious day of the year, and they'll say Yom Kippur. There's some holidays, Yom Kippur and New Year's. They're real close together each year. And people from Israel, I was with somebody from Israel, say, what's the most important holiday in the year? He'd say Yom Kippur. He's from Israel. I'd say, no, you're wrong. It's Friday night to Saturday night each week. That day is the most important holiday of the year. That day each week. There's only one day that's more important than that and religious than that. And that would be when Yom Kippur falls on Saturday. That's the only time Yom Kippur is more important than the holiday every week from Friday night to Saturday night. So I think everybody should know that. And the people that teach, they're not even sure. But this guy Posner, though, he doesn't make mistakes. And if he says something, it was right. Thank you. Did that go on?